everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is MaryAnne and you're watching MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. And I just want to wish you a very, very happy Monday, February 15th, 2021. And I'm hoping most of you, probably not everyone, but most of you are enjoying the holiday, the President's Day holiday, and still basking in the love and whatnot from yesterday, Valentine's Day. And not just because, you know, it's Valentine's Day, but this whole month is really prevalent for love. It has so many beautiful energies from the planets and the configurations that are allowing that and opening that up for us. So that's beautiful in itself. But for those that are new, I welcome you wholeheartedly and appreciate you stopping in. And I'll just let you know that I have a little bit of a regiment that I do. I pick 2 sun signs every day, and one will be the featured, and you know, featured, yeah. The predominant sign that I read for today. And that's going to be today on the sign of Gemini, because I go around the zodiac wheel, starting at Aries, ending at Pisces, in an order so that if you want to come back, you'll know when yours is, or maybe your friends, or maybe you want to read because you have a moon in that sign, or rising, or ascendant, which it's still prevalent. These are sun sign readings, but that's perfectly fine. And so, yes, we go in accordance to the astrology wheel. We're in mid-months now. I did the beginning of the month readings. And then I read and pick a specific highlighted connection right in front of you. So it's new to me, and Spirit's the one who's guiding us through these readings anyway. And so for today, Gemini, the highlighted connection will be Aries. Son of a gun. We had Aries, you know, what, 2 days ago? That was the featured, but it wasn't the highlighted, so that's perfectly fine. I don't think the last one for Gemini at the beginning of the month was Scorpio, and I think last month in January, mid-month, was Libra, as I looked at. But so let's go for it, because this is power, this is strength, and this is beautiful. They're a good combination. Air and fire always work very, very well together. But if you're saying right now, MaryAnne, I don't really know, and Aries, and I'm not really necessarily interested, hold on, because after the 3-card reading I do under 3 major categories for this highlighted, I will then read the 3 major oracles and the messages that come through for them for every single Gemini and every one of your connections, because Gemini, like definitely Aquarius and certainly Sagittarius, and there's like 3 or 4 sun signs that have huge amount of connections. I mean, they're just like so sociable. It's ridiculous. Even the quiet ones, they're connecting with other people all over the world for one reason or another. So I like to talk a little bit about each sun sign, and then I read the messages. And I just want to say Gemini is an air element, and this day and this year will be, and for years to come, Gemini, you're going to have a lot of harmonious energies working for you. It's going to be predominance of air. And that was a big, big deal, boy, when we recognized that after 800 years of predominance of Earth, including last year, that's now changing. So this is good. This is excellent. This is the mind. This is information. And you, Gemini, as an air sign, but also being ruled by Mercury, you are all about the mind. That is how you live your life. That is what you recognize. Your moves and motives are directly related to your thoughts. And Mercury in particular, I mean, that's the planet of, you know, conversation and commerce and business and interaction and networking. And yes, Mercury is still in retrograde through the 20th, which is Saturday. And so, and then we'll have a little bit of shadow period, of course. But so if you're having an issue right off the bat in the last 3 weeks, it's about 3 weeks, including the pre-shadow, please hang in there, okay, Gemini, because it's not you. It's what happens. It happens 3 times a year. But I will say to you, though, is that this Mercury retrograde with many other planets was in Aquarius, so you might feel it more than other times because you're an air sign. And it just means that it's more of an introspection. It's always about introspection versus the outer part of our lives. Really rethinking, oh my gosh, right? Thinking. I mean, that's just what it's all about for certainly you, Gemini and air signs. But yeah, time to really, really note and then intend and all the different things that are so important during a retrograde, so that when you come out of this retrograde, you are ready to go, hit the ground running, no more delays, which is what Mercury retrograde can do. There's mix-ups, there's possible transportation issues, if you're having to travel, you may have to rebook, or, there's so many variables. Being flexible is huge, but what I love is you're a mutable sign. You're very adaptable, very accommodating, you're able to change and to stretch yourself, and to, you're very full of variety. You love variety. That's very important to you. You get bored really quickly. And so the next, I was starting to say, the next Mercury retrograde, I think it's latter part of June. Don't correct me on that, because don't quote me, I should say, because I'm not sure the exact dates, but there's 3, through the year. There's the next one will be in your sign, Gemini. And then the next one ends in the latter part of September through October in Libra. So all air, all about the mind. So it's just going to keep reminding us to really think things through. Look at the detail, look at those contracts, make sure that you know what you're signing. And, that's very important to you anyway. This is how you operate. You love to think, you love to, expand your mind and to teach and to share. That's everything to you. You want to share your words. You really know how to reach people. You convey things very well. That is a gift that you have. And I find you extremely fun, and sometimes the life of the party, And I always find myself laughing with Geminis because they're so quick-witted. And, they have a heart of gold. I mean, you all care a great deal about love, about relationships and friendships. And sometimes, you're so involved in thinking of so much, you forget a date sometimes, or you forget, this, that. I mean, there's way too much in here to go on, but it's never intentional. It's never malice. So, there's just a lot of beautiful things to say about you, Gemini. And I hope that this year is going to show you just how incredibly important you are, and how your gifts of the mind and the ability to speak and communicate can really rise up your energies, but certainly the people around you and your loved ones. And as I always say, it's all types of love. It's not just romantic, but of course that's a big part of it. So then you have this beautiful highlighted connection with Aries. And I repeat similar things, so I hope you don't get bored if you're coming back. I love you for coming back. I love you for being a subscriber and for liking and commenting the way you do. You truly lift my spirits. It shows me such great love and support. And I thank you for that. The Aries is, it's a fire sign, right? Fire and air, just, the bellows, the stoking of the air to get that fire brilliant and bright and going and moving and passionate. There's a lot of passion in fire signs, and Aries is the first fire sign. Aries represents the beginning of the year, really. They're the first sign of the zodiac. They are the first season, which is spring, and I can feel it. I can already feel the way time is going so quickly, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, spring will be the initiation of Aries. It'll be the initiation of, days definitely lasting longer as far as light. Always feels like you can do more. Cardinal signs, which is what, Aries is, and any sign that initiates a season, and there are 4 cardinal signs, you like to, let's get up, let's get our hands dirty, let's make it happen in this beautiful, fiery, spirited energy that you have, where you're just like that ram that will force and push through anything it can. Boy, nothing will stop them. Great determination. Definitely ruled by Mars. So there's that fire, there's that warrior kind of mentality, leadership, definite passion, fiery kind of, sometimes confrontational if it's not on the right, uplifted side that we tend to have. We have our shadow and then our, higher elevated energy, but we all have it. We're all perfect the way we are. I don't talk about the negatives whenever possible. I talk about possible guidances that I can share with you that might help you and alleviate challenges that don't need to be there. Forearmed, forewarned sort of thing. Great energies for the two of you. Both really motivated, excited, love energy, love adventure, Aries are always up for pretty much anything. They're like a child, that number 1, that kind of naivete is there. And they seem young throughout their life. They tend to look younger than they really are because of this just this youthful kind of, yeah, I can do that. Sure, I'll try that. You know, never say no, and never holding on to the hardships and the challenges that happen to all of us because they think that's done. I don't want to think about that anymore. I just want to let it be gone, you know, and I like that as well. I like being around that, and it's useful for the two of you. Not that you hold on to things that much, Gemini, but you know what I love is you're both independent signs. You love relationship, you love love, and you want to help the other out. You will give your everything, you know, when it comes to love, but you also want your independence, and you like to do things, you know, and have time on your own, you know, and you both, I think, are the type of people and energies that will allow that for each other. And I don't know about you, but I've always found that, you know, absence does make the heart grow fonder, so allowing that freedom is what's going to keep relationships last. I've studied this for many, many years in compatibility, and those are the ones that really keep ticking. So anyway, it's beautiful, and I'm excited to read your messages. So let's get on with that. The first message is always the overall energy, kind of what led you to this reading. And if you haven't, do yourself a favor and check the beginning of the month readings under your sign, Gemini or Aries, because I like to see where it's going, you know, as the baseline from the beginning. And it may not be felt this moment during the reading, but it will happen in some way. And I always say you have free will, that you may resonate completely, you may not at all. It's very indicative of what your other planets are in your chart, because I always say the sun sign is 1/12 of who you are. That's the first house. That's your sun, your illumination, your vitality and your strengths and your ego and your desires and all the things that you imagine yourself, you know, and what you want and don't want, and, you know, in the exterior part of your world. So let's see what's happened so far, because let me say that what I can tell you, I don't remember verbatim every single reading, but I know every reading to this point, to the mid-month readings, has been so beautiful and exhilarating. And that new moon that occurred on the 11th in Aquarius, which is beautiful for both of you, was really a time for, you know, just unbelievable new transformational energy, allowing you to do the things that you never even thought you could do before. And I do want to say before I pull this card, and I'm as authentic as I can possibly be, I receive news on the new moon. I mean, it can happen, right? But it also can happen for months after a new moon, this potent. And I received a message on the new moon about a job opportunity. I mean, I was just, blow me over with a feather. I cannot tell you. I had no clue. Out of the blue. And I'm interested. And I don't like to say no to anything, but, you know, I need to think about it. But it was just the most unexpected, welcoming, beautiful, beautiful invitation and opportunity that I may very well take advantage of. But, you know, we got to do the fine-tuning during the retrograde, and there's a little bit of time to go over and think things through. But yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And the reality of the Aquarian energy that's coming through for all of us, and especially for you being, you know, the same air element and ruled by Uranus. I mean, that's what I said. That's the new, out of the blue, surprises, unexpected, you know, that has to do with, well, certainly predominantly science, definitely medicines and things like that, just future thinking, you know, out of the box, new, innovative, just changing your life type of energy. So do not be surprised, and allow that in if you choose to do so. Your overall energy and the message for the first card for all of you, beautiful Geminis and Aries highlighted connections, is, I don't know, this is a new deck, but I was just trying to think if I'd done it since before. I thought I had a new deck, because I have a few from Christmas for all of January, and I feel like I just did this for February, but it seems as though now it may have been from mid-month last month. This, oh my gosh, the Star. The major arcana card that represents Aquarius. The dreams, the visions, the manifestations that we can create every single time, any day we want. It doesn't happen in a heartbeat necessarily, but it's always there for us to utilize. And the fact that it came with Aquarius and that new moon in Aquarius, I mean, I just told you, there's no end to what could possibly transpire between the two of this, highlighted in your own life, in your own way, in any category. And you notice this beautiful, you know, jug that's pouring out water. Well, for the longest time I said water because I always considered, you know, Aquarians, the water barriers. What it means is this is knowledge. This is knowledge that's wanting to be given to everybody, pouring it out to the world, okay, to better ourselves, to continue to grow and initiate, you know, new things. And that's just exactly what's happening. It's so phenomenal and beautiful, and I'm so glad that came up. Because that's this time, you know, we had some real unexpected energies that occurred. And you know, we have Uranus, the same planet that rules Aquarius, in Taurus. That went into it last year, if not the latter part of 2019. And it'll be in that sign, because it changes signs. It's a slower moving outer planet. It'll be in that sign until 2026. Taurus is money. Taurus is practical. Taurus is stability and, you know, working and toiling for what it is you want. Yeah, it won't necessarily come easily. You will have to work, but you're going to enjoy the work. You're going to know that it's bettering your life in some capacity. So that's happening for some time now. Last year, you know, the Uranus aspect of surprises and unpredictability, it can take and it can give. And there's always that cycle, right? And there's ups and downs in everyone's life. And if you look back, you think, oh yeah, those couple of years were kind of doozies, but wow. And then the other years were just amazing. So yeah, just understanding the patterns, understanding the cycles, and hanging in there and being strong and understanding that you are the creator and you can have amazing things and an amazing life. And that's what I'm feeling for you. So that's beautiful. Now the second category is possible blessings or obstacles. Do a little shake here. And you have, whew, I love that first card for you. You have, is this another major arcana? Gosh, I'm so bad, I can't, yeah. Justice. Oh my gosh, it is a major arcana. It is justice. Justice is 11. 11 becomes a 2 in numerology, so there's that partnership. There's the balance, because justice represents the sign of Libra, another air sign, right? This is all so very serendipitous and synchronistic, and it's just screaming out to all of us, you know, fairness, justice for all, the necessary need to expand our knowledge and to grow and learn and to study and to utilize that energy and to know we can become our own bosses and entrepreneurials, you know, that is huge. And I think a lot of us understood that from last year, and I'm hearing in my own community and circle of, you know, clients and friends I know, that's exactly what they're doing. That's part of the little thing I mentioned to you. It's someone I know dearly, and they're going to consider a business, and they want me to help run it. So that is what I'm talking about, boy. That is a blessing, because it means that, interesting too, well, that's because of the Libra. You've got the sword. The sword is the truth. The sword is, it cuts through all the controversial things, the gossipy things, the things that are actually not true whatsoever, and it finds the justice that's necessary and something we all need. The only thing I can say about the possible obstacle is you're still waiting because of this retrograde. So the news is still coming, and it's phenomenal, and this is beautiful, and I don't see it and feel it in any other way than that. So I'm just sticking with that. And you know, if it is not a Libra, it could be a Libra you're associated with, and something having to do with this dream, with this, you know, maybe law case that came in, a lawyer. And a lot of times lawyers are Libra because they are all about the balance and justice. They're lawyers and many times judges and that sort of thing. You know, they seek to see the truth. They seek all sides of a situation, and they know the importance of justice and fairness in life, you know, and it will always be found in some way. The universe is completely justified and fair and balanced, and we don't see that and think that a lot of times, I know. But then all of a sudden something happens and you're like, whoa, that completely balanced that out. Took a while, but it really, really is happening. The final category is the category of finances, because we need finances. They're an energy as well. Is this another major arcana for you? I know it's green, and green is money, but it's also heart. No, it's the Six of Coins. It couldn't be better under finances. What a beautiful reading. Once again, like I said, the world is opening up for us. It's our oyster. It's always been there. But there are times we just have to learn our lessons, right? And really sit with that. And there was a lot of sitting last year for a lot of us. Not everyone. Even the ones working, they were sitting, right? At home or what have you. Six of Pentacles, boy. The Pentacles are the earth elements. The Pentacles are the practical things we touch, feel, and see. The things that we can, consider our comforts, our, essential needs. Money certainly being one of them. Health essential, right? The money to provide for our health, to invest in things when, to make sure that we're not going to spend every last dime and what the best way to invest our money is. But the Six of Coins is basically in the Rider-Waite deck, forgive me. Mercury's getting to my mind big time, but it is about a man who is distributing and doling out money to those in need. Okay, and that's what I'm seeing and feeling for you. There's money coming in some way, like there's loans that are being activated for people. You have to make that effort, you have to fill out the application, but they're there. They're happening. I hear of stimulus coming through, that sort of thing. Look at this beautiful card, though. It's like strawberries and things are, there's growth happening. The seeds were planted and it's starting to come. We're almost at spring and that's when they start to shoot through, right? And it feels wonderful and you feel extremely appreciative. You're feeling really grateful, and that always creates more. The more you genuinely feel grateful for whatever it is you have and the blessings you have, it just multiplies. That's a side effect of the energy. So what amazing, wonderful reading. And you deserve it, and I hope that you're feeling this moment and that you'll continue to grow in this feeling and just enjoy each other, in the meantime. If there is a delay, it's time for you to relax and rest. And you probably were, like I said, if you didn't work over the weekend, maybe today, just cuddle up, take each other's hands and just say, I love you, man. I love that you are a part of my life, in whatever capacity. My kitten was my Valentine, man. He is my man. So that was beautiful. I truly love that. So that is a highlighted connection reading for Gemini and Aries. But now, Gemini, I'm going to read the oracle messages and such for every single Gemini and every one of your connections of love and relationship and, just people that and things and situations that we really, once again, appreciate and feel great, abundantly, fulfilled and happy about. Oops, that went on the ground, so I'm going to pick that one up for you. This is Psychic Tarot of the Heart. I love it because it's our heart, right? The heart is the most intelligent organ in our body. And I know it sounds strange. I think you think the mind right off the bat. It surpasses the mind. They work together. But the heart has so much intellect in ways that there's books on it. It's pretty, Heart Math is one I recommend. This is by John Holland, and it covers the chakras as well as the 4 different elements as well. So it depends on the color. You got death. Now listen, I know a beautiful reading in death. You think, what? One of my favorite cards. Look at the beautiful dove. This is the sign of peace, right? And in any death interpretation on a card, it's number 11. The word, I'm sorry, it's not death, it's detach. Forgive me, death would be 13. Put these on and we're much better. Detach. So, letting things go, right? If they love you and there's meant to be, they'll come back. Major issue for me, personally, to detach, and I've done so good with myself because I've been purging and getting rid of things I've had for years that I had a sentimental attachment to. And it's just a story of my life anyway. I don't want to let anything go. I mean, even when I know I need to. And I've learned a lot from that. I hope you have too. That might hit home in some ways. I'm going to read to you what it says specifically. But detach is a major arcana once again. It shows this kind of barren winter time, which is what we're in, when everything falls away and you kind of have to reestablish and regrow and, do the purging so you can add that beautiful element of spring that's coming through and the new excitement of that. Let me read to you what it says. I've never read this one, but I like it. I like it for everybody. I like automatically what I'm feeling from it. So let's see what it says for you. So detach. Right here. Okay, it is a major arcana. The key words are reflect, accept, decide, clarity, responsibility, and fairness. Man, this is something else, this reading. I love it when it's so congruent and it just kind of lines up and it's spirit saying so clearly what it needs to share with you. Sometimes our ego prevents us from seeing events clearly. It's time to detach emotionally from a relationship or situation so that you can step back and reevaluate. This is the retrograde to do that, and to really be honest and truthful with yourself. Reflect upon how the relationship is working. Is it satisfying? What role do you play in its harmony or disharmony? What role do you play? Oh, I already said that. An honest appraisal is required in order to gain clarity and help you better understand what might need to be done to improve it. This is true even if the relationship is already a good one. And I think that's true too. Even when they're good, you're always working at it, right? It's always this need to kind of add or maybe take away or fill in the gaps, I guess. It's important to accept that your previous actions, decisions, and beliefs have led you to your current situation, whether it's pleasant or difficult. We do steer the course of our lives, although often without conscious intent. And that's because we're constantly manifesting, but in ways that we don't know necessarily. So by assessing your situation and accepting responsibility for it, you're able to free yourself from need to blame a person or destiny. There's no guilt associated with this card, only clarity and empowerment. Once you've detached yourself from an examined a relationship, lack of a relationship, or other matter of the heart, you're in a better position to decide what your next step might be. Remember that the detached card knows no ego. Decisions arrived at a result of drawing this card must be fair and balanced for everyone involved. And here you have justice. And you are a detached sign in a way. I mean, it's notoriously known for air signs. They're detached because they will not allow that emotion to affect their mind while in the midst of their thoughts and their actions that are going to, bring them to better places and to help others in the process, okay? That's what that detachment is. So it's something you kind of already do just unconsciously, as it said. So it doesn't surprise me that could be something that you could just consider and to really, reevaluate. Affirmation, I accept, you're going to love this, I accept the role I play in creating my relationships and my life, but it says the traditional tarot archetype is justice for this reading. So there you have it. This is meant to be for you. This is beautiful. And, you love justice. You truly love fairness. And I think you are more than willing to step back and recognize what you're doing in a situation, whether you're adding or not, all the other things that it just said. So it's beautiful. And I love reading that to you. So, something to think about. Another thing to think about for you, beautiful Gemini, to add to your repertoire. But the next, excuse me, throat situation. The next oracle I picked this time in the last, 2 weeks or week and a half is the Relax deck. It's so appropriate for now. Time to detach, time to relax, trying to really just kind of say, okay, I know it's a time to not really push forward because I'm going to have delays even when I try to. I've already had them. And so now I want to really take the deep breath and really say, I let go and let God, and just kind of enjoy yourself as much as possible and give your mind that break. So I will shuffle, and this will be for every single Gemini and every single astrology sign that you have a connection with. Many fell on the floor. and I'm going to pick them up quickly. But I love these because it's an old deck. I've had this many, many years, but I just like its information. It just kind of hits home a lot of times, and that's what this is about. Just to bring you some, you know, insight and clarity in a loving, kind way that's going to lift you up. I'm going to read this right here. This one says, the mountain. Historically, mountains have been seen as the dwelling places of the gods, yet most mountain peaks can be scaled if we have the will, the strength, and the equipment to climb them. The gods are not inaccessible forever. However, if we believe we can achieve great things quickly, we will become the victims of our own presumption. Yes, we can climb mountains, but mountain climbing is dangerous. It is wise to proceed one step at a time. I mean, that's beautiful insight, right? That's a known thing, but sometimes, you know, we want to go quickly. We want to just, I know you have that energy, Gemini, you know it too. Patience? Not so much, but that's okay. You know, I mean, actually between you and Aries, as the highlighted, you'll get along great because you'll both be like, let's just do it. Talk about it later. You know, there's so many variables, but yeah, just that beautiful willingness to explore and to try new ventures, you know, to climb the mountains of life, so to speak, metaphorically. And the last beautiful oracle I love is my OG. It's the Super Attractor Manifestation deck. And it is about creating the lives you want and just feeling it into existence. Yeah, I said just because it's really that simple. But you know how it is when you have that emotion that's so overwhelming. It's all you can feel. It even surpasses the mind. You know, it's just, that's what you bring. That's when we bring things in. Our main thing to focus on is that they're beautiful feelings, happy feelings. You know, wanting and feeling are two different things a lot of times. We may say we want something, but we're feeling that we can't deserve it, that we won't receive it. So these are those kind of messages, and they're sent with love always. And really quickly, if you have not subscribed and you like what you see and you think you might want to come back on a monthly, please subscribe. It's free, and it supports my channel greatly. And as I always say, it shows me the love, and I greatly appreciate that because I love doing what I do. And yes, I'm going to be doing private readings a couple days a week. And if you're interested, you can look up the email, which would be the business one for now. It's going to be very rogue, but that's okay, because that's why complicate matters. I tend to do that as an air sign myself. So let's see what your beautiful message is, Gemini, for you and every one of your, every one of your beautiful connections, of which there are many. You have, the more I attune my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver. Absolutely. You see this hand reaching for this beautiful fruit, which is everywhere and anywhere. As long as you believe it, you truly feel it, and are willing to accept it. And that's what your message is. So I call it an affirmation too. You want me to take a snapshot if you want. You can look it over and think about it and put that in your energy field and just watch things open up and appear, and you know, and it's a beautiful give and take, wonderful kind of energy with this co-creation that goes on. I'm riveted by your reading. I absolutely love it. I'm glad that I could be the channel, if you will, to give you the reading and to send you the messages, particularly when they're this incredibly amazingly beautiful. So take good care of yourselves. Have a great day off if you in fact have that. I appreciate you a lot, and until next time, bye for now.